And to be fam, peace and blessings. This is Derric Rau Khu more. And I recently just came across a reel of a preacher saying that God saved our ancestors because they were over in Africa worshiping rocks, trees, and plants and things like the sun. And I don't know how I came across this reel. I don't even want to think about it. But you know, what it made me realize was this. Part of the reason why, I say part of the reason, but it's really a major part. A major part of the reason why our folks are in the situation that they're in is because they don't know God. They only believe in God. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you know God, you know from a metaphysical perspective who God is, what we call God, and you will be able to apply it to other things. You will be able to apply it in other areas of your life. But if you just believe in God, you just basically believe what other people have told you. You just basically follow what other people have told you. So for instance, from a metaphysical perspective, if you understand that the same air that we breathe, the same air that fills our lungs, it goes all around the planet. The same air that fills my lungs also fills the lungs of my enemy. If you understand that, okay, if you understand that, then you also should be able to understand that the same sun that shines on me also shines on those who hate me. Now, if we go ahead and by deductive reasoning, we understand that all of this comes from God, that means essentially God is the one who basically fills our lungs with air. It's God that goes ahead and causes the sun to shine on all of us equally. Which means that God does not play favorites. God doesn't have likes and dislikes. And if God doesn't have likes and dislikes and God doesn't play favorites, that means there's no such thing as a chosen anything. Okay? There's no such thing as a chosen people or unfavored people or any of that. God does not care. Okay? Because it's all part of God. God doesn't care. God does not care about God doesn't care about the, who wins the war, who starts the war. God doesn't care about that. Metaphysically speaking, God does not really give a damn. But who does? Who cares? Well, the only ones that care, the only ones that are closest to us, the only ones that actually got a stake in this whole, got a stake in this whole fight, that got a dog in this whole fight, is our ancestors. But every time we go ahead and we choose to invest in someone else's paradigm in believing that we came from some freaking rib, every time we choose to believe in that kind of nonsense, we go ahead and we constantly disempower ourselves. And that's the reason why we're in the situation we're in. We got to stop. We really have to stop being children of God and grow the blankety blank up and become men and women of God. Because it's infantile thinking to say something such as that, God saved us by going ahead and causing us misery. That's part of that other people's paradigm. And once you go in here and you realize, like I said, once you realize that God does not care, then you start to understand why God does not stop any other atrocity that occurs in this on our planet. God does not. God could have stopped slavery, but God doesn't care. That's why God didn't stop it. Okay, because God doesn't have a say-so in it. Choose not to do it, because in order for you to go in here and learn about your divine self, in order for you to learn about your divinity, in order for you to come into your God power, in order for that to happen, you got to go through some pain. That's why God is not participating in this. And God is not stopping any other atrocity that occurs. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. Okay? Realize the only one that's going to save you is you. Head to poo. Peace.